Hello everyone, my name is Daesvail, and I'm going to be doing some PvP today, but I wanted to talk to you about something that I had a discussion about earlier, and it regards the roles in raids, and it also does apply to, it would apply to PvP, and it's on the fact of importance of roles, because there's always going to be arguments of, oh, healers have the toughest job because they have to deal with this and they have to deal with that, and tanks have the toughest job because they have to deal with this and they have to deal with that, and we're the tanks, we're most important, we get beat on. And I'm not on this side, but there's also the argument of DPS and the things they have to deal with, which go largely unnoticed. Now, if you really think about it, every single role is just as important as the other. You can't go into a raid or into a battleground with all tanks, because if you go into a raid with all tanks, yeah, you could all tank for a while, you won't have the DPS to kill what you need to, and you also won't have the heals to keep any of you up. If you go into a battleground with all tanks, yeah, it'll take a long time for all of you to die. That's about it. Yeah, blood tanks in battlegrounds, they have some pretty nice burst. But that's going to be fixed with the next patch, so it doesn't even really matter. But really, there's no reason that tanks are any better than any other class. Or not class, any other role. If you go into a battleground with all healers, then yeah, you're going to have a great time. No one's going to die. But, again, will you kill anything? No. Will anything productive happen? Not really. You could, if you capture a base, you could stand on it and heal and heal and heal, keep interrupting their attempts to grab something, and just be a pain in the ass. That's about it. If you go into a battleground, oh, no, wait, hold on. If you go into a raid with all healers, everyone will get crit by the boss and horribly die. That's pretty much it. And if you go into a battleground with all DPS, then yeah, you might do okay. But you're not gonna get anywhere. Like, really? You're gonna have that many people all doing damage, but not doing anything else. Oh, I died. I shouldn't have charged in there alone against a blood decay. But, yeah, you'll be doing great damage. People will go down like nothing. But once someone needs a heal, where do you go? Nowhere. Like, what are you gonna do? Ask the rep pally? And if you go into a raid with all DPS, if it's current content, you're not getting anything down. Everyone will get crit by boss and die. That's pretty much just what happens. You need to be in tank spec or you're gonna get crit and you're gonna die. There's no getting around that. If you go into just there's no reason that any one role should be more important than the other. Because yes, I understand. I've done all three roles. I've tanked, I've DPS'd, and I've healed. Yes, you see that I'm mainly a DPS, but I know how to tank, how to heal. There's not only one aspect to this game that I know and understand how to do, and there's a lot of people who only know one role, which isn't right. Like, there's no reason that someone should only learn one role of a game that they enjoy so greatly. What's the point of it? Because if you're really going to enjoy what you're playing, you should understand that, okay, this person has this move and they're going to keep me alive because of it. If you go into a raid and you're completely blind as to like what the priest healer does, you're going to be like, oh, why are you doing so bad? You don't know what you're doing, blah 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 blah. But it's like, what if you're saying, why aren't you giving me hots to a holy paladin? Like, what? Why would anyone say that? Because, yeah, holy paladins don't have hots. I'm not sure who's aware, but no, they don't. Oh, I get destroyed. Oh, he has killer, or deathwing stuff. But really, there's a lot of ignorance in the fact that people say that tanks have the hardest jobs or healers have hardest job, and on the rare occasion people say that DPS have the hardest job. It's all equal. Healers are the same amount of importance as a tank, the same amount of importance as a DPS. DPS get overlooked because while a tank you usually may need like 3 at the maximum for a raid or anything you really do. But that's about it. You're not going to need any more. With healers, you need like a few, not that many, but not enough as to where it's like, oh my god, we have to spend like 20 minutes looking for healers, oh this is horrible. You need to look for a couple. It's understandable. If you look for DPS, yeah, they're a dime a dozen. But to find someone who really knows what they're doing is hard. Because not everyone in this game understands their class the way they actually should. I have a lot of tunes. I have one of almost every class. I've played everything endgame. Technically. I've played everything on the PTR of Cataclysm, everything on the patches into the game, going into the game, and I've learned because of that how to do different things in accordance to what I have in the raid or what I have in the battleground. But hold on, I'm sorry about getting interrupted there, but I want to know, with each person that watches this, if you can, just tell me what spec you usually play, and what class, obviously, and tell me, because of that role, how do you feel about the other 2 roles? If you're a DPS, tell me about how you feel about healers and tanks and what they usually say. If you are a healer, tell me what you think about tanks. If you're a tank, tell me about healers and DPS. Because there's so many people who don't understand the simple concepts of how everything is important. And a lot of people who only know their one class, they'll know that class amazingly. They'll be really good at it. But it comes to a question about like, I'm a DK. What's that feral druid doing over there? Why is he running around and such? What's he doing with that little attack symbol in front of his face? Right now, I'm not exactly sure of the name, but he's running around because there's a rogue over here. And so he's doing his AoE trying to like spot him out of the ground and get him to be visible. Whoop. And I've actually seen someone who's asked, what's a death grip? I was very confused by that question because I kind of figured everyone would know, but like not everyone has played a DK. As strange as that sounds to some people. And just really, I want to know what everyone else thinks, what the community thinks about the other classes and other roles in WoW. So leave what you think below and spread this around. I want to see what others say, and I'll give my feedback if anyone does answer. But thank you for listening. I know it's kind of scatterbrained and sorry about the interruption, but really every role is important. Every role is equal. There's no one role that rules the other. So I hope everyone got that from this video, and thank you for watching. My name has been Daesvail, and I'll see you next time.